Oh, holy crap. Okay, I don't know if anybody's here. Um, give me a second. I'm gonna be doing lots of things. It's gonna be a whole lot going on here. Okay, hold on. Why? Why is that set for 2:09 a.m.? Why am I not live right now? Why is nothing working? Okay, hold on. Yes, delete this forever. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh my god, I think we're onto something. Holy crap. Okay. Dang. All right. Wow. That was crazy. Um Hopefully you guys should be able to find it now. Wow. Wow. I think I'm a little quiet. I think. Hold on. Yeah. Nope. Is that oh god. Is that loud or is that quiet? I can't tell. Somebody say something. Hello. I see people are here. Hmm. Okay. All right. It looks like mostly everything is working. Mostly. Okay. Okay. We seem to be pretty good. I'm not seeing any drop frames. Bitrate is pretty low for no reason at all. And I don't think I can change that while it's going. Yeah. Yeah, bitrate is super low. Can I change that? Oh yeah, look at that bitrate. Look at that bitrate go through the roof. Heck yeah. Okay. Now we're cooking with oil. Wow. All right. So this was a total nightmare. Hell in a handbasket, one might say. Ooh. Cool. Cool. All right, who's here? Roll call while I figure everything out. Like literally everything that could have possibly gone wrong went wrong. I kid you not. I kid you not. One of the files that, or not one of the files. So I have two hard drives on my computer. One's a solid state drive, one's like a spinny hard drive. The spinny hard drive stopped working. It's been working all day, and it's because I've been screwing around with my computer, but it's been working all day. And then I turn on to start streaming, and this happens. So, oh man. Okay, cool. We got people here. Sweet. Um, Man, wow. All right. This is terrible. I'm so sorry you guys had to do that. Why did you wake up the pupper from its nap before, especially if he's old? How dare you? Well, because he needed it. We actually went to a big dog social today. Believe it or not, he's considered a big dog. We took him and the two Danes to a big dog social, and he had a blast. He walked around for like an hour, got pretty tired, couldn't keep up with us. He's got little legs, but yeah, it was super good. Um, I woke him up just because I don't know why. I saw him. He's not here right now, as you can see. His bed is open. He's outside watching TV in the living room. But yeah, that's why I woke him up. I don't have a good reason. I'm sorry. I guess I'm supposed to put on Facebook and stuff like that. Whoa, jeez. Okay, that's like an 11. We're gonna turn that down to like a. There we go. That's much better. Like a 5. Whew. Did you see that? It blinded me. It probably blinded you through me. Yeah. So it's because of those adorable ears. Yeah. So apparently this program that I use no longer integrates with YouTube like at all. It just doesn't. So whenever I went to go start this up, I was like, yeah, okay, we'll go to the countdown and I'll put the comments on the screen like I always do, and it's whatever. And I went to go do that, and it was like, oh, well, you can't. And then I got really sad. So I started trying to do other things, and my music wasn't playing. And then I found out that's because an entire drive of my computer isn't working right now, which I'm pretty sure I just have to unplug it and plug it back in. But still, that's like, I'm trying to stream. I'm not trying to do computer surgery right now. But thankfully, all of my programs are on my main solid state drive that I have. So, yeah, man, wow. Talk about a not fun time. How about that? Let's just keep it there. Talk about a not so swell time. I was kind of sort of freaking out. I think justifiably so, you know. But we're here now, and that's what's important. I've got you guys here. We're here. Liberty After Dark is here. I I was working on a project, and it's one of those things where it's like it. I was working on the last 20 minutes of it for like the last 3 hours, and that was really yeah, it was not a good time. Not a good time. Let me see here. Let me just do some copying and pasting in and whatnot, and trying to get this stuff out of my face. Nope, that's not what I wanted to click. I've been doing that a lot of that today as well. There we go. Get that out of here. Do a little just we're live blurb. So like I said, this is mostly a test. So thanks for being out here. It's cool to have you guys. I'm sure the dogs will show up eventually. Maybe more than one of them. Maybe you'll get to see the big dogs. We'll see. But yeah. I literally typed "We're live" blurb. I said I'm gonna type a "We're live" blurb, and I actually typed "We're live" blurb. Fun. Okay, we're gonna close that now. Now that I've linked it over to the Facebook, everybody's known about it for at least 24 hours. Well, not even 20 hours, roughly. So yeah, cool. Cool. Still kind of freaking out a little bit, man. Oh, I was already running late. I was already like 10 minutes late because, of course, I was. And then all of that nonsense happened at once, and I was just like, woo, man, I was not prepared for this. I was going to change shirts. In fact, I still might. Um, so, yeah, I don't think I will, but Celeste, it's good to see you out. I don't know who else is here. Probably Court is lurking in the chat or something. I don't know who else. Ooh, jeez. But yeah, it's good to be here, guys. It's good to be back. It's good to be in America, land of the people who think they're free, home of the people. So yeah, I need to figure out something with this. I don't like having this super big, but if I make it small, then I just have a bunch of dead space. I don't know. I need like a border or something. Maybe put me in the middle, or like up here, or down here, or something. I don't know. I have all this fun stuff on here. I don't know if any of it works though. I don't think it does. What a tragedy. Yeah, I have all these funnies that I built a long time ago for the stream. We'll just keep it there. That's fine. I think it looks better. Oh, Kevin's here. What's up, dog? We're gonna trim off all this nonsense. Nightmare, hello. Yeah. I don't know. I can't decide. Oh yeah, we'll figure it out, guys. Either way, I don't want to be like the whole screen. We'll put like a banner up or something, and maybe I need a little bit on this side so I can use my talking arm. I can really get the talking arm in there. Bro, have 4 years gone by already? Technically, the 5th of January, so in a month, yeah, 4 years will have gone by. It's pretty crazy to think about. Um, how things have changed since then. How things have changed. Nightmare, good to see you. Yeah, so we got Kevin, Celeste, Nightmare's here. Probably somebody else lurking in the chat. I see 4, something like that. I know you're there. Oh man, celestial seasonings. Those heart emojis. Good stuff. So the whole point of me doing this was as like a test, right? Because we're gonna start getting rolling eventually. Oh, Liberty Late Night's lurking. That's what's going on. We got the lurkers here. So this whole thing is set up to be like a test, and really just kind of talk about what's happened the whole time I've been gone, which honestly hasn't been much, and it's been kind of nice. But just to kind of go over everything and make sure that the stream is working, because guys, we're on Wi-Fi down here. That's kind of new for me. I'm more of a Ethernet kind of guy myself, but the Wi-Fi seems to be working pretty well. From my little counter, we are almost 15 minutes in with 0 drop frames. And if we could keep that up for 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 times, we could have a show with 0 drop frames, which means it would be functionally identical. In fact, better than my internet was towards the end of Korea when it just like wouldn't work half the time. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think we can work with that. I have new fun things that I don't have set up. I don't know how to use for this, so give me a second. I'm not dressed for the occasion. I have my where is it? Yeah, right here. It's on the hanger. I was gonna wear this. I was gonna wear my ANCAP shirt. In fact, you know what? I'll put it on for you guys in just a second. But hold on, right now. What I actually and it's I think it vanished. Oh, it didn't. It didn't vanish. I have a tendency to break things, apparently. That's okay. All right. Sorry. I have one of these. What is this, you might ask? Well, this is traditionally speaking a drawing tablet. But what I see is an interactive surface for me to have things on the screen and to take the pen, which is up here, somewhere in the area. Kind of looks a little bit like this guy, but in a pen form. And yeah, you just pen away. And so then I can be like, oh, well, if you'll look on the map right here, and I can circle it instead of pointing at my screen. And you guys don't know what I'm pointing at. But I can, yeah, Liberty whiteboard sessions. Exactly. We can sit here and I can write things down. We can remember when I was like, hey, we can do like little lectures on topics, but it'd be like fun and interactive and not like a traditional education setting, which is totally counterintuitive to productive learning. And we can actually do that now. It's pretty cool. So, wowza, yeah, I'm in like basketball shorts. I was rummaging through cables earlier because I realized I didn't have all the cables, and this TV isn't even plugged in. And if you got here in literally the first few seconds, you could have seen me running to the back so this is a bed, by the way. So I gotta show this off because when I saw this, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. So give me like 2 seconds to get it. You get to see me in my lazy clothes. It's a freaking bed. Come on. Come on, it's pretty sick. Come on, guys. Pretty sick. Look at all this floor space I have now. This is like the biggest room I've ever had. Get your Bob Ross on. I will. Okay, that's incredible. It saves so much room. Exactly. Right? Like I don't think I'll like ever not have one. Do they if they make them in like king size, I will never not have a bed like this ever again. Like it's so much room. And I have hardwood floors, so I can just slide away. I have a rolly chair. Things that we've upgraded so much in this new facility. The command center for Liberty After Dark. All I need now, ooh, Jesus, is to not knock everything over. All I need now is, I mean, a green screen, I guess. I don't really need a green screen, though. I need that TV to be gone. I want that TV gone. And I would like, I'd like a painting of my boy, old Spooner. Put that on the wall right here. Put that on the wall. We can have that. Dang it. You know what I didn't do last night that I meant to do? A mini fridge. Celeste over here, just with the absolute killer ideas. I don't know where I would put it though. Yeah, I don't know. Wall real estate's getting a little thin over here. I guess I could put it over there, but then next to my shoes, which are all up against this wall. Because this, so I'm basically like in the closet, but not really. Like I'm out of the closet, obviously. You know, I'm here. I'm out of the closet, but yeah. You need to find a way to project that tablet onto the TV and pull it up behind you so we can have a full-on college classes in here. Celeste always has the best ideas. I agree. So Kevin, I don't know, man. I think I can. Yeah, so I said this was gonna be fun and we were gonna experiment. Give me 2 seconds. Give me what 1.25 seconds. Whoa, whoa. Oh no. We got some dress shoes. Ah, loud noises. Don't fall, please. It's gonna fall. It didn't fall. Okay. I was told I sound super high energy. That's because I am super high energy, guys. I just had a month long vacation from everything, basically. Pretty much. I mean, I was working, but okay. You know, I checked out of reality for like a month. So okay, all right. So that works. Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna move this over here. We're gonna have some fun time. Oh. I meant to ask you guys. So we got like 6 people here. What is something that you guys want talked about that isn't like news? So I'm going to go back to doing like YouTube videos and eventually we'll start doing bi-weekly shows. Would you guys be interested in like a weekly news catch up thing? Or would you rather me just cover that during the show? Or would you rather that be its like own or a separate 15-ish minute video, 10, 15 minutes where I just talk about the news, the important things that happened? I don't know. These are the kind of things I need to know from you guys so that I can implement them and we can make the show better. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to do this on the fly because I don't remember how to do this. Window capture. This is just the first thing I had. Okay, so it seems to not be capturing at all. which is exactly what I wanted, believe it or not. I didn't want it to capture so that I could show you guys all the cool, fun things. If you go back to shooting twice a week, one show could be current events, the other be philosophy, conceptual. See, that's kind of what I was trying to do, except for I think I overbooked on interviews, honestly. Interviews were doing really well. Everybody likes an interview. Come on, who doesn't? Seriously. I mean, that's of course everybody wants to see the interview episodes, but it's not like the philosophy current events shows did bad. They just didn't perform as well, so I think I wanted to push doing the other shows when I probably shouldn't have, in all honesty, because it's nice having people on the show. Like, I still think having Dave and Marion was like the best, was peak Liberty After Dark. 100%, in my opinion. I think like it was like a 5-hour show, and we talked about all sorts of crazy things, and it was we all had a good time. We had our fair share of disagreements, and it was good. So I don't. Whoa. Okay, so I put Paint up because I couldn't get the other program that I wanted to use to work. So what we'll do here is, will this even work? It might. It might work. So we'll have Paint up here, and then what I'll do is I'll come over here, and I'll just write your mom. Okay. And that's obviously right here, you know, since I wrote it out, it makes it more official. And my handwriting won't be total booty when it comes to the actual thing, so you won't have to worry about it looking like that. So yeah, fun, right? Run stuff, fun stuff, heart react. All the heart reacts. Yeah. I actually, so when I was on my break, one of the things I did, since I told you guys I was going to talk about what I did, and I didn't talk about that, I did a lot of things. A lot of things happened, actually. I took a step back from a lot of the things that I was a part of, politics wise. I left a couple groups that I was in. I separated myself from a couple communities that I had determined were more of a toxic force in my life than they were a benefit. Not to disparage those people or those communities, just it wasn't working for me. So I tried to leave with the best foot forward as possible, and I think I did a pretty good job at that. And I separated myself a lot from things that were being super toxic in my life, and politics as a whole was getting toxic because, well, I was sick of it. Right. It had gotten to the point to where like I wasn't even doing shows. I was just doing my normal news routine, and this was like November, and like beginning of November-ish to mid-November, and it got to the point where I was like, if I hear the word impeach one more time, I'm gonna throw myself off of a building. Well, it's a good time. It's a good thing I dropped that line of reasoning because, well, I would have thrown myself off of a building about 140,000 times at this point. So I took a break. I just unplugged. I didn't check up on news. I mean, obviously I heard about things because I still talked to a lot of the same people, and they stayed up to date, and we had discussions, and I would, you know, get into an occasional tussle on Facebook, but I pretty much changed completely the way that I approach doing this. I've pretty much given up on social media. I've pretty much given up on the internet as a means of bringing people to where I want to get them. And I think that's the important distinction that I wasn't making before. Like, it's in my head for the longest time. I had been saying, okay, we have commies, we have libertarians. We're going to get them from A to Z as quick as possible with the best education possible. I mean, I don't think that that's a bad thing to want. But what was happening a lot is that you would get people part of the way through something like memes, and I would try to either take them the rest of the way with memes, or I would try to convince them via arguments on Facebook or or just introducing ideas. And that's not, in my opinion, an effective way to do so. There's a couple different things that I think we can start doing to more effectively implement these ideas. And if you are one of the keyboard warriors out there, I won't stop as much as I try. I just don't put as much energy into it as I used to. Have you ever seen that episode of Rick and Morty? Whenever Beth is talking about, or Jerry's like, oh, what? I'm not going to let it affect me, or whatever he said. And Beth's like, Jerry, do you remember that one time that someone in a YouTube comment said you're stupid, and you said no, you, and then you stood up the rest of the night crying, waiting for him to respond? He said, that's what this is. And I was like, I always think about that, and I can think of specific times where I've just been so frustrated, or just wanted someone to respond to me so bad, just so I could just so we could just make some kind of any progress, that I would just sit there and I would just refresh my feed waiting for them to respond. And that's not healthy. There's so many other things, and I know there are other people, maybe not any of you guys out there, there are other people who do this kind of thing, and it's not healthy, it's not productive, it's not helping me or you or anybody else. It's not helping the movement. You're just like, the video I made before I did this, like, hey, just unplug, prevent burnout. I didn't even know it at the time, but like that was basically addressed to me, and it's pretty hilarious. And I made it when I did, because I was like, bro, just step away. And that was like when I was in the peak of being like in it, and nothing was working, so everything was really frustrating, and it was a nightmare, right? It was like a living nightmare. And then I just kind of unplugged, and I walked away from it. I did a lot of reading. I listened to other people's content. I didn't make any content like I said I would, which, if you're a Patreon member, that's why I deferred all of the Patreon payments for the month. So thanks for your support through November. December is free for you guys. Yeah, there we go. I mean, I feel like that's the best thing I could have done, because I felt kind of like a douche for just taking November off when I said I wouldn't. And let me close that window. It's got a nice hard click to it. It feels good. That was a classy move. let me go close this window. You'll be seeing that quite a bit. I love rolly chairs. If I could live in a rolly chair, traverse everywhere, I would. Well, it's kind of like being paralyzed, but I want to be able to have my legs and use those for the rolly chair. So that's not what I'm saying. I don't want to be paralyzed from the waist down. Before any of you guys even jump on that one. But yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So that was a big part of it. I spent a lot of time with my family, who I had seen, comparatively speaking, basically not at all for the last 4 years. And really, my parents, I missed, I think, more than I even realized in the moment. And my dogs, which I hear one of them coming. He's probably going to start whining at the door, and I'll let him in. And so it's good to be back in the States. It's good to drive. It's good to do whatever I want, and not will be worried about the consequences of my actions in a way that I shouldn't have to. And outside of like the police state and everything, we're not getting into that this exact moment, but you know what I'm saying. How was my Thanksgiving? I had two Thanksgivings. I had one in Dallas last week, which is why I couldn't go to Dallas this week. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd be at Feed the Need. But we went to Dallas last week. Stayed at this fancy hotel called the Gaylord. Went to go see my family, who met us pretty much halfway from Arkansas. Hadn't seen them in 4 years, if not more. Pretty much any of them. I talked to them on the phone 2 or 3 times in the last 4 years. So that was cool. That was good, getting to see them. What kind of pie did you have? The only pie worth having, pecan pie. And if you say anything else, I'm gonna kick you from the chat. Except for I'm not, because that would be super rude. But pecan pie is the only correct answer. Come on. Celeste, don't tell me you're an apple pie person. I'm calling it right now. And you like to have a scoop of ice cream with your pie. That's the correct answer. Pecan pie is the correct answer. I know everybody likes their weird pies, but seriously, like you can't. Have you ever had a pecan pie ever in your life? It's the best. It's so good. It doesn't need anything else. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, well you take a slice of cherry pie with a scoop of ice cream, and it's the best thing. No, what you do is you just make a good pecan pie. You eat a slice of it, and you say, wow, that was a good pecan pie. I don't need to add whipped cream and I don't need to add ice cream and go freeze it and put it upside down and sprinkle my grandmother's ashes on it. It's my favorite food. Pecan is awesome though. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Chocolate pecan pie is pretty good too, but I haven't had that in forever. You ever had a pecan pie made from pecan trees in your grandpa's backyard? It's unmatchable. I imagine. Uh, pecan pies. Yeah, see, now I want pie too. But Christmas is right around the corner, and nothing says Christmas like a pecan pie. Pecan pie. Yeah, it was good. I had the juiciest turkey of my entire life. My cousin's husband, yes, my cousin's husband made pie, and he cooked it. So first thing, he did a dry brine. Super smart if you ever cook birds at all and you want them to taste good. Dry brine, amazing. Sacrilege, I know, but he injected it, cooked it breast down for the first half, flipped it, cooked it the rest of the way, and then served it. And it was like, it's like, when you like fry like really good chicken, it's like juicy, it just explodes in your mouth. It's so juicy, it's so good. It was like that, but it was a baked turkey. I I've had a lot of really good turkeys in my day. That was like if we were making a turkey tier list, that was top tier, S tier, OP. We need to nerf this turkey tier. So, yeah, that was good. Especially since I'm wearing my PlayStation shirt right now with the Japanese words on it. PlayStation. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty good, honestly. It was probably no, it wasn't pretty good. It was the best turkey I've had in my entire life. That actually not even being hyperbolic. I know I'm like 9 times out of 10 being hyperbolic. Not even kidding. This is seriously the best turkey I've ever had. And I wish I could have given you some. I really do. They had two turkeys actually. One was a smoked turkey, smaller guy, and then there was the just massive turkey that was dry brined and injected and flipped and flopped and came out so juicy it almost made me cry. Because normally I'm a ham kind of guy. Normally I'm like have a slice of ham, like a nice honey glazed ham. Oh, so good. And don't get me wrong, I love me some pig, but that turkey was next level. Like I don't know if I haven't convinced you yet, I don't know if I will. That turkey was top tier turkey, but it was good stuff. Yeah. So we got Christmas right around the corner in 17 days. We have Christmas, so that's fun. It is no wait. This is in Korea time, isn't it? No, it's not. It's like 11 a.m. over there right now. Prime rib? What? Who does prime rib for Thanksgiving? Where are you from? What? Who does that? That's like, yeah, I love my ribeyes for a Christmas meal. Like, okay, like of course you liked that. Like, yes, you had the prime rib. Of course you would like the prime rib. Who does prime rib? That's all I'm saying. I mean, okay. man, if there was ever a primary, oh, you don't eat steak and listen to heavy metal on Christmas. No, my family's, my especially over here on this side of the family is super traditional about like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and they're very like we eat the same thing every single year, which is why going to Dallas and having new things was super awesome. Like we had the where you take the sausage, brown it up with some seasoning, put the cream cheese in, jalapeno, put it in the jalapeno, and then wrap it with bacon. Mm. Mm. Yeah, we did a bunch of those. That's pretty good. Candied green beans, I call them. Green bean casserole. Oh my god, I don't like green beans, but you get those brown sugar, bacon, green beans, and you give me green bean casserole. I'll eat all of that. I've eaten pierogi, Yvette. Yvette, I know an Yvette. I hope you didn't eat an Yvette pierogi. That'd make me very sad. Um, what was I saying? God, just totally, you totally ruined my train of thought. Now I've got this guy here, and I keep fidgeting with it because if there's anything close enough for me to touch, I'm gonna start holding it and pointing with it. And I'm gonna go wah 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 every Christmas Eve since I've been able to eat. Wow. Oh, I see what you're saying. Pierogi has been at every Christmas Eve since you've been able to eat. Okay, that makes sense. I could see that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's like one thing though. So we make a couple different things. Have you ever heard of forgotten cookies before? I don't know what they are. They're super good. Um, Turkey ham, usually. One year, I think one year we did like quails, maybe, or maybe it was like doves or pigeons, and they just passed them off as quails because I was a kid and I didn't even know what a quail was. Um, Man, yeah, long time ago though. That was a long time ago. Hmm. What's the normal? What is? Oh, I have, but I forgot. Okay. Hmm. I'm trying to think. What else have I done? Um, it's little things, really. We got a sick gym here. I've been going to that. Um, I'm sorry. It's not you. It's me. I'm gonna Google the forgotten cookie. Yeah. So it's like it's sugary. I mean, it's a cookie. It's really light, and they kind of melt in your mouth, but they have like a dense center. But it's like it's like if you made a cotton candy cookie, but it was dense and powdery instead of stringy. How does that sound? I don't know. It doesn't taste as bad as cotton candy, in my opinion. We're watching on TV, but commenting on our phones, and I can see our TV is delayed. Oh, it is delayed, is it? Is that your favorite Christmas cookie? No, my favorite Christmas cookie, and I know this is so boring of me to say, but it's just a plain old Jane old sugar cookie. Oh my god. Like I don't want it iced. I don't want nothing. Nope. Just sugar cookie, cut it out, put it on a tray, bake it, give it to me. I'll eat my body weight in sugar cookies. And that's a lot of sugar. You know how many sugar cookies it takes to make like 260 pounds of sugar cookies? It's a lot of sugar cookies. Okay? That's actually it's closer to like 270 pounds of sugar cookies. Um, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Christmas cookie flavored Bluebell ice cream. Um, I don't know. I'm really boring when it comes to ice cream. I love chocolate, Bluebell ice cream. I love chocolate ice cream, period, honestly, but Bluebell's is the best Dutch chocolate. And I love homemade vanilla. And I don't really experiment outside of that, and I don't mix, but I will put things in my ice cream. So, like, I can do nuts every once in a while. Oreos, oh God. So remember when I was like, I don't do a lot of sweets. So like, you're in Texas where Bluebell doesn't melt and refreeze on its way to the store. Go try it. Yeah, it's oh man. We weigh the same. Do we weigh the same? We're like the same height. That would, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, I'm like 270. Um, so I'm mostly no. See, what you are is you're just filling out. We're pretty much the same height. So, I mean, it's cool. I've seen, dude. You got like big old forearms from working machines. So you got that going for you. Get that forearm strength. You probably crush my hand. Yeah, I don't know if you saw these, but my mom's dog tried to kill me. So I've got wounds all over me. Cultivating mass. Don't even trigger me, brother. Yeah, this gym is great. I need to fix my diet, but like I've been loving just like eating and just burning it all off the next day for like 2 hours in the gym. I'll just go nuts. Ooh, just lifting weights, defying gravity, telling Isaac Newton to go shove it. Um, oh, you know what? Since we're doing a show and tell, I found a book that I haven't seen in forever, and I'm just gonna show it off because I don't know why. I just like showing off my book. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh Jesus. Okay. This Bible that we have here, right, is backwards on your screen, I bet, but it's called the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And I'm not going to be a bodybuilder, but you know what I'm going to be? One day I'd like to be the guy who someone looks at and says, wow, if he wanted to, he could be a bodybuilder. That'd be nice. I've got a long way to go, though. So, yeah. See, I'd like to, just somewhere around here. This is where I'd like to stop. You know, if I could do that, like, could you imagine? God, I'm over here like talking about economics, and I'm just like flexing on the guy on the other side of the camera. He's like, well, there's a lot of merit to Keynesian styles of economics when we're talking about looking at ways of perpetuating a homogenous. And then I'm just sitting over here, just jacked out of my brains, just busting through my suit at this guy for his status antics. Did you say what you're doing now that you're back in the States? Yeah, so I'm working a warehouse job, sort of. I do bitch work, basically. I mean, I do what needs to get done, but it's a lot of cutting and sorting and stickering and putting away. And I'm doing a job that someone who has no skills deserves to be doing. That's the way I look at it now. As much as I would love to be doing something else with my life, it's what my credentials put me at, and it pays decently, pretty well actually. So I can't be ungrateful. It's just being honest. It's what I do. But I'm going to be going back to school. Um, for what? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe like economics or something. I feel like I would just be arguing with my economics professor the entire time, though. He's probably some kind of freaking status. And he'll say something like, yeah, well, you know, national debt doesn't matter. And then I'll just be in the back, just laughing. I'll be the guy who's like, oh, okay. And then he'll be like, oh, do you have something to add? And I'm like, nope, just keep going, I guess. It's your show. I'm going to get at least one question wrong on the final. Trade school over college? Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. Sure. I mean, I'm not going to say no. Different people need to do different things. College is a huge waste of money. Sure. Yeah, cool. If you literally only want dollar to like investment to dollar out ratio, do HVAC. Seriously. Um, yeah, just do HVAC. Don't don't go to college. Don't do any of that. Plumbing is a decent. Welding. Be a welding inspector. You don't even have to be a welder. You just have to look at the welds and inspect them for their criteria. But it is a lot of responsibility. But I mean, there are trades out there. But guys, like, what am I doing right now? I'm not a tradesman. Okay, I have hobbies. I like working with my hands. Wasn't responding to Shay. Yeah. I have my bike. I work on that. I do all sorts of little projects. I work with technology. Not really interested in having a career in technology, but I'm also less interested in being a plumber or working HVAC or being a mechanic or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, trade school works for a lot of people. And it'll be great when the college system collapses and it becomes affordable. That's really what I'm hoping is that we can push off this free college thing as long as possible. Because if we can just wait just a couple years, just a few years, I feel like we might actually see the college bubble pop. And it would be the best thing for education in, God, forever. Okay? Forever. All right. Community colleges would be super popular. They'd probably get even cheaper, honestly, because they have a direct ratio of how cheaply they can make their classes based off of how many people enroll in their school. So that's the biggest thing there. And universities, I mean, if half of the universities in America closed because of mismanagement and not being able to get students and not being able to deal with their bloat, I would be 100% okay with that. Someone's playing Sonar in the hallway, apparently. But that's my opinion on education. Yeah, I could be totally wrong, and maybe education's a bubble that's yet to even really expand. Who knows? I mean, what is it, like $2 trillion in student debt right now? So, have you had the time to reunite with your tools, knives, battle weapons? I should have some of them here. Most of them are downstairs. My knives. Hmm. My knives should be around here. I could show off. I put this as not for children, so that means that Facebook won't ban me if I do things that might make a kid cry, right? Something like that. Hold on. Hmm. Well, I have this little guy. I have my big knives. I don't know where I put them. I don't know. I don't know where I put my big knives. 1 in 4 student loans are in default. Yep. And what is it? God, last year it was like 2 million car loans were more than 90 days overdue. I'm telling you guys, listen. So I said we were going to talk about some economic stuff. I think in the YouTube video, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. But man, guys, listen. I know there's like everybody, literally everyone but me. Well, I mean a couple people, but it feels like everyone but me is just having a party. Like, woo, unemployment's at 3.5%. Woo, we just made 54,000 new manufacturing jobs. Woo, we got all these things going on, and all I see is just, man, it's gonna really suck when all that goes away. Like when we go from 3.5 to 9, or when we go from 54,000 new manufacturing jobs to losing 54,000 net manufacturing jobs, um, it's not going to be a swell time. And God, every time I look at that interest rate, the fact that they've dropped the interest rate twice, 3 times, it was at 2.25. It's at what, 1.75% now? So they dropped it 0.25% each time. So That's 2 times. All right, okay. Still, it was at I just had to read that one out a little bit. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. We were having this conversation because I've started getting back into the fray of things, and really, I was watching the news and I was like, why is everybody just taking this at face value? It didn't make any sense. Somebody out there had to be the dissenting voice, and there were dissenting voices. Obviously, there are always people who speak out and say like, "This is the end," and I'm not saying it's the end, but I'm just saying I don't think our best days are forward as far as like economically speaking in the near future. I think that's a safe bet to make. I think that like if things were to get better, this is it, because we are stretching ourselves so thin, guys. We had a 0.25% interest rate on Federal Reserve loans for 7 years. I 100% blame Barack Obama for that, by the way. And I 100% blame Trump for it not being higher now, which it should be. And don't get me wrong, I hate the Fed, but like if the Fed is going to exist and give people loans and try to function as a central bank, the only thing that people can say about a central bank that makes me say like, okay, all right, maybe it serves one potential purpose. Like, okay, it's a totally illegitimate construct put up by a monopolist power enforced by violence. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. We got all that out of the way. Boom. I keep hitting this thing, and I'm sorry, but yeah, we got all that out of the way. If nothing else, if it is correctly used, it should increase economic stability. It should make our highs slightly less high, just a little bit. Just turn it down a little bit, and it should make our lows much higher. Okay? And that's the whole point, is that when you intentionally curb the economy you intentionally cut yourself just a little bit so that when you fall, you don't fall as hard, because everybody's heard the saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's the way economies work most of the time. It depends how and why and what falls for that to be specifically true. But there is a certain portion of that statement that holds true in economics. So if, let's say, we just have another banking collapse, which, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, car loans are totally screwed right now. Student loans are screwed. Most of those are federal, but there are a lot of private student loans. Like, I have private student loans. Most people who go to school also have private student loans, but it is a lot of federal loans too. But so car loans are screwed. Student loans are screwed. Mortgages, subprime lending for mortgages is back. Great. CTOs are back. Great. Like, that's not literally what caused the 2008 financial crisis. Or CPOs, sorry. It's good. It's great. It's a good time for something. It's a good time to buy a house, I guess. Technically speaking, a better time to buy a house will be after the crash, whenever they bring it to zero, I guess. Because you have to think, so what happened in 2008? The bottom falls out of the market in housing and banking in general, right? The bottom falls out of the banking market, and everybody is scrambling, and then businesses are closing, unemployment goes through the roof, whatever. So to inject life into the economy, it goes from 5% federal interest rate to 0.25% Federal Reserve interest rate. The importance of that is that 4.75% that it drops is flexibility in the system that did not exist before. You just made it cheaper for everybody to get loans from top to bottom by a noticeably large margin. And we live in a debt-based economy, okay? I'm not saying that you should accrue debt. Debt does not have to be a bad thing, but we live in an economy where you can buy your house, buy your car, and spend it too. That's the notion, right? A loan essentially doubles your economic power. If you are appropriately paying on them, you can, in theory, double your economic power using loans. It will cost you more in the future, but in the now for the economy, you become basically an unstoppable machine. But the market value of our house has gone up $25,000 in 3 years. I mean, I don't know how to where you're at because see, that's the thing with real estate, like market values and stuff like that. That's yeah, it just kind of depends. I'm pretty sure what's happened is you've been reassessed, is what you're getting at, right? And they're trying to say that the area that you're in is developing and that you should pay more taxes, is what has probably happened. That's why you need to have a private assessor who's licensed and can come in and undercut your home. But then somebody from the state can always come in and reassess it, and they get last say. So it depends on where you're from, technically, how you do it. But yeah, so it's it's crazy to think about because I know that the if you must live in a very rapidly developing area, if that was the whole true, but really all that I'm getting at is I'm not saying that I know which one of these things is going to pop. But when I saw the information on automotive loans, that made my head spin. Like I wrote an entire post about it. I was like, guys, like, did you know this was happening? I didn't know this was happening. Nobody told me this was happening. um, and you can get a car loan up to 6 years now. That's crazy. Considering the average American replaces a car every 6 to 8 years, the fact that you can get a 6 year loan is insane. And so what happens is that you get these people who get 6 year loans or 5 or 6 year loans to get their payments as low as possible, and then they get, oh, say like a Mercedes or something like that. They can't afford. You like reasonably can't afford it, and then you're paying probably not great interest rates on it. I highly doubt you're paying anything close to a 3 to 4%, but my car loan is 6 years at 0%. 6 years? Why would you put yourself into a 6 year loan though? Why would you do that to yourself, man? Like, I mean, that's cool if it's like a really nice car, I guess. But I mean, and is it a fixed 0% APR or is it a variable 0% APR? Because that's, I mean, Jesus, like they must have either scalped you on the MSRP or something. But that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Somebody's really trying to sell some cars then, because man, um, and now's not a bad time to buy a car, technically speaking. The issue with the whole 0.25% for 7 years was that uh, banks and lenders started realizing after a couple of years that they were like, okay, well, this isn't going anywhere, but we can increase new interest rates because we're getting new money in and new blood in and the economy's recovering. So we can increase interest rates and still get the 0.25% over the 7 years, which is why I think the banks were the number one winners of the 2008 financial crisis, as crazy as that is. Corporate partnership. Okay, see that makes more sense. I was missing the context there. I thought somebody had just like basically given you a free car. Not free, but you know what I'm saying. You pretty much would have stolen it from them. But yeah, okay, all right. I mean, I'm more of a person who leans towards minimizing the amount of debt that you have, and debt is a schedule, right? So if you have the ability to pay off a home in 20 years or 30 years, you should 9 times out of 10 pick the 20 years. Debt is not just a total number, which if the longer you pay onto it, then typically speaking, the higher your interest or lower, no matter what your interest rate is, the longer you pay on it, the more likely it is it's going to cost you more. But debt is a schedule, and it's almost more like a sentence in my personal opinion than it is anything. And I have more of it than I ever would have expected to at my age, and I'm going to try to avoid it as much as possible from now on, within reason. Healthy debt is a thing. I'm not saying you can't go out and get a 5-year car loan. I just like, why though? You can always make extra payments towards the principal and get it paid off sooner. Why not get the monthly payments as low as possible? But if you can afford to pay it off sooner, you should always do so. Always. Because the second that you allow yourself the leeway to not pay it off sooner and you start lapsing on that, like, well, why even give yourself the chance to begin with? And plus, if you get a lower yearly, it's almost always comes with a lower interest rate. Almost always. There is a risk that they have to assess as well, because in 6 years, a lot changes. Like a 2-year loan is like really easy for a bank to say, like 24 months, statistically speaking, you're still going to have your job, you're still going to have your house, you're going to be able to pay this off. Your income will, if nothing else, probably grow in this time frame. 6 years, a lot can happen. There's a lot more of a chance for you to default in that time. So it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about. It's usually it's a give and a take sort of thing. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, you're not going to get a super low monthly payment. And even then, like, let's say it's the same. Okay, let's pretend you're not at zero, which is super cool, great, awesome. That's a fantastic and very rare situation to wind up in. Very happy for you. But let's say, you have an offer for 5%. Okay, we're just making things up here. 5% at 2 years and 4% at 4 years. You're still going to be paying, even if you try to pay down double, which because of amortization, you're going to be paying so much of your early payments into interest on the 4-year over the 2-year, because amortization is the process of where you pay off your interest in the beginning and then you pay off principal at the end. So that's why if you ever look at a bank statement for a loan and it's like a 10-year loan or something, for the first 5 years, it looks like it's basically not going to change, and it'll just slowly chip away. It's like if you took like a door stopper and you put two of them in, and this is interest and this is principal, and you kind of put them together. That's how amortization works. That's the whole idea of it, and it exists to benefit the banks. Okay, banks are a business. I'm not suggesting that that's like we agree to those terms. I personally would be super into a bank doing what's called a consistently adjusting interest rate. So as you pay off principal, your total interest due gets readjusted or re-amortized, and which isn't a thing, but if it was, it gets re-amortized, and then your monthly payments get adjusted to reflect that. I think it's a system that rewards people for having healthy debt, and I think it rewards people for making progress to become debt free. So yeah, and really, everybody wins whenever you look at it from that perspective. Even the bank wins because they get more of their money back up front, which they can put back into lending again. However, it doesn't look as good in quarterly reports, and it can lead to situations to where people are paying less overall in loans than they were before, which means the banks make less money. And let me tell you, in a truly free economy, banking would be a much more dynamic and interesting system than it is right now. There'd be a lot of really cool and competitive things being offered by the banking sector that we will never see in our 21st century economic landscape. It's not going to happen. So 0% was offered to anyone with good credit, took at 0% at 6 years with the intention of paying off early, but with 0%, there's no incentive to do so. Yeah, really, you're not under any pressure to do so. So it doesn't really matter. It's just a solid credit line at that point. It's just, I guess I should say to this, I'm not a licensed, I think I'm legally supposed to say this. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I can't legally give you financial advice. Everything I say has a caveat and an exception that may apply to you, and don't do what I'm saying. Sure. How about that? That sounds pretty good. But I think most of the things that I say come with, most of it's trial by fire, honestly, because when I turned 18, I was like, you mean I can get money for free? So I learned the hard way how loans work. And I learned the hard way how they can eat you alive. Thankfully, I learned the hard way before I had a house and a good job so that I didn't have enough disposable income to put myself in enough debt to ruin me. Because they just stopped giving me loans at some point because they were like, dude, you're broke. Like you can't take out another loan. And I was like, what do you mean? I've only got like $20,000 in debt. Why are you so mad? It, if you count student loans, it was like 20,000 total. But yeah, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was the lesson learned. That's all I'm saying. So I'm always very cautious, you know. And you know, hey, if someone offered me like I'm looking at buying a truck pretty soon. If someone came up to me and was like, "Hey man, like you can do a 2-year 5% interest rate or you can do a 6-year 0%," I'd take the 6-year 0% every time because it's going to be less money than the 2-year 5%. Now if somebody says 4-year 5%, 2-year 5%, if I have the disposable income, I'm going to do the 2-year 5%. So much money saved on the back end. So much money. I just called them and said I wasn't going to pay because you advertise or you advised me not to. Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'm going to quote exactly what when I said I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I can't legally give you advice. Don't do anything that I say. That's all I'll do. And plus they'll be like, "Bro, give me the money. Shut up." Yeah, I am not a big fan of banks though. Not for the reason that like a lot of people are. The whole like, oh, yeah, banks are like a representation of capitalism or something. Modern banking is a representation of is a physical effigy of corporatism. Um, Banks have some of the most like people talk about oil lobbying. Have you guys ever seen bank lobbying before? Have you seen how banks basically get away with murder always? Have you seen how banks are like always the reason that things go wrong because the people are like completely obsessed in total control over everything? Um, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And the fact that they're pampered so hard by the government does not makes literally nothing better. You know, all you have to do is just go look a decade back, go look at 2009, go look at when all these trials were going on and all these people were in front of Congress testifying, oh, how did you let this happen? And then nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened. A limp dick bill got passed that shouldn't have had to got passed to begin with, that basically held no one accountable for what happened. I mean, look at what happened. Was it like 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago now? Wells Fargo had been caught opening up a bunch of fraudulent duplicate accounts to launder money through. Like just nobody owned. They were just ghost accounts that they were funneling money through to look like it was real people. And what happened? The CEO got let go with like a $200 million severance package. Like, oh, woe is me. How will he ever recover from this? It just goes to show you like modern banking could be so much more. Could be so much more. But we live in a system that not only forces people to all play by the same rules, but then doesn't punish the cheaters. And so this is where the whole idea of this like I'm waving around a knife now. Like I'm serious. I got a pocket knife. I mean it. This is where this whole oh, all right, I'll get to that in a second. This this whole idea of banks just being this the modern perpetuation of the banks is literally just an extension of the state into the financial sector. That's all it is. From top to bottom, it's there are places that try really hard to be good, but it's really not conducive to a productive society, in my personal opinion. We could be having a lot of really cool things happening with debt and like I never in a million years, you probably never thought somebody would say that, but imagine being able to like get loans that are competitive outside of just interest rates, like payment plans, and it's you could have like instead of like a just a different interest rate, you could have an actual like system that is built to be both beneficial to consumer and whatever. I'll have to put more time into that. I think that could be a cool idea to explore the possibilities of banking in the future. But yeah, I got the knife. This is so that YouTube knows this isn't for kids. I've got a knife, so you can't flag me as being child-related content and try to sue me. I'll cut you. I mean, I won't. It was a scene from a movie I was quoting. I'm pretty sure some movie somewhere said they'll cut you, but hey, I got it finally. What's up? It's old Brandon Beal, old Double B here. Nightmare, should I ask your thoughts on Kamala Harris dropping out? Well, I mean, I feel like a total jackass. I thought she was gonna freaking win the Democratic nomination. If you go back, the Young Bucks episode, what was that? Jesus, February. I 100% was like, I mean, to be fair, so did most people, but I was like, Kamala Harris is the front runner, is most likely going to be the front runner. Joe Biden's going to come in. He's going to be creepy Uncle Joe. He's going to be the flavor of the week, and then he's going to fall out. That didn't happen. I expected Elizabeth Warren's campaign to fall out. That didn't happen. So I was expecting Kamala Harris to be the only person with real steam behind her, and she would be challenged by like Cory Booker and Beto. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's gone too, but I mean, in my imaginary timeline, a bunch of people who would never have been able to contest against Kamala. So Kamala might have won the nomination if Tulsi hadn't wrecked her. No, she wrecked herself. Kamala Harris has like okay. So what she doesn't have is she doesn't have the political network influence and money in the DNC to be creepy Uncle Joe and still get away with it. She has a really bad track record. So does all those people on that stage. But they all either have money, connections, or a super, super, super long history with the party. Every single one of them. I mean, like, I don't even know why. Is Bernie still in? Why is he still in? He has no chance of winning this. He was in the same tier of candidate as Kamala Harris. Like, he's not even a factor in this election anymore. That's crazy to think about. He just exists to push the Overton window further left. That's all he's ever done in his political career, first off. But he just keeps pushing the window further to the left. So, and Elizabeth Warren isn't helping either. If I hear her say she has a plan for another thing, like, my biggest issue with Democratic politics isn't even the statism. Like, I can listen to Republicans and just laugh at them and not get like mad. But what pisses me off about Democratic politics is that they just try to bribe people. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I hate statists on the right and the left just as much. But when you literally are just saying, like, I will give you so many free things that you will be turning down thousands and thousands of dollars of potential benefits if you don't vote for me. It's like Yang. Like, it's Yang but sneakier, because nobody thinks a UBI will work, which it probably wouldn't. I mean, you could force it to, but it wouldn't be very good. But, he was literally trying to give people money. She's figuratively trying to give people money. Yeah, with other people's money, but we don't talk about that, Celeste. No. See, social contract or something. So, I think that's my new favorite Facebook status update, like Serve and Protect or something, or social contract or something, or Land of the Free, Home of the Brave or something. I don't know. What I mean? That's how I feel. Like, Celeste, you only feel that way because you're racist and you hate poor people. That's really it. It's free. No, Mary, if you understood, it is free, because by existing as a portion of the labor force, you are entitled to the fruits of said labor. Therefore, all of the corporate tax should be available to you, as accessible to you as benefits via the government for some reason. So the right wing status at least pretend to like the free market, and the leftist masks have slipped. I mean, I guess Shay. I mean, right wing statists are either Trump fans, which is the vast majority of them, so they're pro tariffs, or they're against Trump and they'll just do whatever he says, or again the opposite of what he says. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. You know. Thoughts on Bernie's rendition of "This Land Is Your Land"? Man, he's a piece of work. Let me just put it that way. I've talked a lot about Bernie over the last year, and I still think that if Bernie had run, we could have had a Bernie Sanders presidency. Like, it was not out of the realm of possibility. Like, Hillary Clinton was like, I tell this story pretty often, so you probably heard it before. I was watching Bernie Sanders speak, and when that bird landed on his podium and he just looked at it and smiled and was like, oh, I was like, well, that's it. That's the next president of America right there. I don't know how much more. I don't know how you can top that. And apparently, you can top that by fronting Hillary Clinton and then her being literally the most unlikable person on planet Earth. So, yeah. Like if Donald Trump beats you, you are a shit candidate. Just being completely honest. That's 100%. Yeah, the Disney moment. Exactly. Like if Donald Trump beats you, especially in 2020, he's pissed a lot of people off. A lot of people. Pissed a lot of people off. If you lose to Donald Trump, you are a shit candidate. Or we're screwed, which is they're both very likely. So, um, to be honest, though, he doesn't even really surprise me anymore. Donnie T. Like it became the norm too quickly, almost. Like he's gonna say something like every month. He's gonna do some crazy thing, and everyone's gonna be like, "But why though?" And then he'll stop. His advisors will get his Twitter account, and they'll be like, "Hold on, wait, J.K. We're actually not gonna do that." And then he'll be like, "Well, I mean, I was, but then my genius 4D brain just wanted you to think that I was going to do that so that China would lower the tariffs. And would you look at that? The soybeans are going to the Chinese, and it's amazing." And yeah, and I'll just sit there, and my brain will start to trickle out of my ear and run down onto my shirt. Then my dog will come up and start trying to lick it up. Um, I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of over him, honestly. I'd like a new person, and I don't even care at this point. Whatever. Bring it. Bring me Elizabeth Warren. Bring me Elizabeth Warren. Bring her. Big brain energy. Yeah. I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and we've officially determined that if you say you're big brained, you're not actually big brained. So every time, I'm so smart. Look at me. The reason that my hair only grows on the left side is because the brain took up the other, 3/4 of it. It pushed all of the follicles out because I'm so big brained. China 4D chess. Brr. I mean, that's Biden would be hilarious. I would love to see Biden as president. Could you imagine? Kim Jong Un's like, "We're gonna nuke you," and he's up there and he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get my niece and we're gonna go swim in the pool and it's gonna turn my leg hairs blonde and she's gonna touch them and I'm gonna say, 'Oh, don't you worry, I'll keep this country safe for you,' and I'll cuddle her up in my chest, and then the left half of his face will stop working and he'll just start babbling about Nam, and you'll be like, 'Mr. Biden, what are you saying?' And he's be like, 'No, you're fat,' and then he's gonna fall over and have a stroke, and it'll be great." I know about roaches. Oh man, don't forget to mention roaches. Yeah, I I think I can see right. Like Obama's just got to be watching this. He's just got to be sitting back in his nice giant house. You know, he's basically made it for all intents and purposes. Like he'll never want for anything again in his life. And he's just got a, cracked open a cold one sitting on his couch like, man, I'm so fucking glad I'm not doing that anymore. Just pounding a brewski, laughing his ass off, watching Joe make a total fool of himself. Oh, man. Like, I was never a fan of the guy at all. Never. I was a statist back then. I wouldn't have been a fan of him now, even then. But you know what? I mean, he didn't fuck with our guns. Like, yeah, okay, Obamacare, all right. Yeah, it sucked. Taxes went up. Okay. I mean, he didn't fuck with our guns. We had some pretty bad stuff happen. He didn't touch the Second Amendment. I don't know. He kind of seems like a principled guy, honestly. Unlike somebody. I'm just saying. Yeah, poor kids can be just as smart as white kids. God, that's top tier. Like Joe Biden. Oof, shut up. Speaking of which, actually, hold on. Give me a second. It's gonna get so bright. Okay. I know we just had one not too long ago, but we've got to have one coming up pretty soon. Oh my. Hold on a second, folks. I just want you to see the first thing that came up onto my screen. God, why do you do this to me, God? Where is this? Where is this? Google Chrome. Right here. Look at this garbage. Look at this garbage that just came up on my screen right here. This is the narrative that's being pushed now. Look at this. We're just gonna put this up in the corner, okay? No, you know what? This is the stream now. Look at this. Look at this. This is the stream now. Why? Is that gonna make it go away? It did make it go away. God dang it. Now I gotta redo it. Don't you just love when nothing works? Oh, look at that. Nothing. Would you look at that? Nothing's working. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna open this back up so that I can see what you guys are saying. This is the stream now. New malarkey. Yeah, exactly. New malarkey. 6 white candidates qualify for next Democratic debate so far. So Trump's racist. Now the Democrats are racist. What's next? The people who don't engage in the political process are racist? I'm pretty sure somewhere there's already an article that says, like, if you don't vote, you're racist. Hold on. Excuse me for one moment. I just want to see. Okay. I gotta see this. Oh man, I don't think so. Okay, well. Never mind. Oh, well, this is pretty close. I won't vote in US elections anymore. I don't want to be a part of the racist system. So, it's the opposite of what I was going to say, but it's close enough. Sorry. I just had to see if I could find an article that was like, if you don't vote, you're actually just a part of the patriarchy. What about the Indian? Yeah, what was he saying? He was like, yeah, you can't, every 7-Eleven you go in, you got to be at least a little bit Indian, Are we Oprahing racism right now? You're a racist. I'm a racist. She's a racist. Seriously, though, 6 white candidates qualify for Democratic debates so far. Like, that is your headline. Like, what is your end goal? Who is this written to? The 5 people who supported Kamala Harris? Is this supposed to guilt trip white people into backing Cory Booker? Is that the strategy? Or I mean, Julian Castro, I guess he counts, right? I think. I don't know. I mean, does he count? I mean, he's only Mexican. Does he? I think Cory Booker's more person of color. I think he's got a high. He gets a higher score. And that's all this is really. It's just Jesus. Like, I can't wait until it's like a bunch of old people up there, and there's like, oh, it's only one young person of color. This ageism, you know. Crazy eyes? Me? Did I give you the crazy eyes? Yeah. Maybe I did. I don't know. Just, hey guys, it pains me. Like, honestly, like it makes me want to jam my thumb into my eye, and that light is so bright. Why? There we go. So much better. Oh, this is actually a whole new window. Sweet. I don't even remember what I was gonna look up. Nah, man, Booker. Oh, yeah, he's a character. Booker's a Spartacus. Oh my god, I cannot believe that dude called himself Spartacus. To this day, I cannot believe that. Like, I called myself a philosopher once, and I felt like a huge douchebag. I was like, yeah, I do philosophy. Like, I mean, I like to think I philosophize, and this guy's like, I am Spartacus. I stood up for the slaves against their unjust rulers, and like, dog, like, stop, Jesus. Oh, speaking of which, what? Cory Booker probably won't qualify for the next presidential debate. Oh no, who saw that one coming? Not me. But he says, uh, but he says he's not. This is good. I love this. Not quitting. Ah, that's what he said. He's not quitting. Well, that's good. Nothing like a little bit of an exercise in futility. Only 6 candidates, 6 white candidates too. Don't forget. When is the next debate? Is there one in December? Okay, I guess I can get rid of this screen, but whatever. Hold on. Let me see. Oh. Wow. Well, that's okay. A lot of people are out. That's good. That's good. I can't believe Kamala Harris polling so bad that she felt like she needed to drop out. Castro was about to drop out. Actually, I forgot about that. Sorry, I'm reading this article at the same time, but it says Castro, who dropped his threat to exit the race after he narrowly hit an 800,000 fundraising goal at the end of October, didn't make the debate stage in November. But he insists he's not pulling the plug on his campaign just yet because he's probably going to leave after this one. Because if you missed 2 in the primaries, your race is probably dead. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, Bloomberg. Oh, we gotta talk about this guy. I kind of want to do an episode on this dude because you want to talk about an Avengers level threat. Bloomberg is a dangerous man, but Hawaii mommy, Tulsi Gabbard. What are my thoughts? She's a commie, and if she became president, it would be detrimental to America. I think that for literally every single person that's on that stage. I also think the same thing for Donald Trump. So what do I think? She's better than most of them. it's like saying I would rather be eaten by fire ants over army ants. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess fire ants like have their stings like eventually will numb you after they sting you enough. Army ants will just like kind of rip you apart. So yeah, I mean, it's basically the same, right? It's basically the same. Old rich guys are ruining politics. Bloomberg is an Avengers level threat. That guy has so much money. No, Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, well, from the guy who said Kamala Harris was going to be the Democratic 2020 nominee, Tulsi Gabbard has no chance. No chance. She's going to run a really strong secondary campaign, and she may not even go. She's one of the few people who I think could go to basically no more of the primaries and still be that when people get knocked off of like Cory Booker and all these other people, they're going to feel spited by the people who are still there, and they will go to people like Tulsi. In my opinion, could be totally wrong. She could drop out next month for all I know, but she seems to want to stay in this. I don't think she has anything close to a shot. And I guess, I mean, Liberty Late Night says she's hot though, and I mean, I guess I'm not really like into that though. That's just me. It's not really my type. But Bloomberg has so much like money wins elections. First off, most of the time. Okay, when you got two extremely large sums of money going up against each other, then it doesn't matter as much. But when you have tiny money going up against big money, big difference. And Bloomberg has so much money that he can finance the primaries by himself, and then he can literally fundraise for the entire rest of the presidential campaign. Got a favorite libertarian candidate? For president? No. Who's even running anymore? It changes so often. Last I think Ivan dropped out, if I remember correctly. What's his face is still in. John McAfee, I'm pretty sure, is still in. If they've dropped out in the last month, I haven't heard about it. Or if they've come in the last month, I haven't heard about it. I just am not a big fan of the direction of the Libertarian Party. So I am kind of... I kind of keep myself not necessarily distant, but I mean, sure, like Adam Kokesh is running, and that's cool. I think I'd pick him over. Okay, so wow. Okay, actually, we've had a lot of people add themselves in. A lot of people who I've never heard of. So Adam Kokesh, right? I'm going to move that back out of the way. Adam Kokesh is probably the most likely person to get the nomination out of just a glimpse at this. Now, don't get me wrong. LP delegates hate Adam Kokesh. I have a love-hate relationship with him. I think he's a great performer. I don't know. I mean, okay. So let me just get this out of the way. Okay, here's the problem with voting for a libertarian president who I like. Adam Kokesh is like, I'm gonna dismantle the government. You can't do that. That's not how it works. He's like, he thinks, he literally says, I'm going to come in, I'm going to issue an executive order dissolving the executive branch of the government, and then by proxy it'll kill the rest of it, and yada yada blah 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 blah. You can't do that. The president is delegated very specific powers, and you cannot just dissolve something that is, if a budget has been allotted for it by Congress, you can't deny the funding for it. Therefore, it has to be put through. So, like, this is why you can't just delete the NSA. You can gut the NSA, you can redirect the NSA, but the money for the NSA still has to go to NSA things, or at least related things. That's why, like, if you wanted to become a president and like shut down the military, you can't like not spend the military budget. Say like you pulled all the troops in and saved like $300 billion or whatever. You can't just like put it into a potluck. Like, it's got to go somewhere. And it's a shit show, guys. Like, politics is a shit show. Government is a shit show. And as much as I like Adam Kokesh coming out and saying, like, I'm just going to dissolve the government, what that does is it makes people say, like, okay. And then they change the channel. Am I over here like, yeah, dissolve the government? Like, yeah, cool, great, awesome. Let's do it, man. I'm right here. I will help you build Ancapistan right now. We will get started. America's not ready. I'm still a transitarianist. As much as I like Spooner's defensive voting, and I still think that it's an inherently ethical system. I just think you have to be really careful with that power, and I'm not saying if you vote for Adam Kokesh, it's like violence against people or anything. I wouldn't go that far. Now, if Adam Kokesh wound up, like, I don't know, being a crazy authoritarian status, like, I think you'd have some responsibility in that. But, you know, if he was a mostly NAP compliant president, you would have done a net good for society. So sure, fine. But he's not going to dissolve the government. So I hate the fact that he even says that. Like, it's disingenuous. So here's my dilemma, okay? Because I'm in the position of a loud and proud ANCAP, of an anarchist who wants a voluntary society. So if you say I am going to lower taxes and to prevent further incursions on the Second Amendment, like, okay, that's better than most people, but you're not even remotely close to hitting any sort of mark, nor are you making any. Like, now, if you said, this is a part of a roadmap that I have to eliminate the state, first thing we're going to do is we're going to lower taxes and we're going to cut funding here and we're going to do this, and this is the roadmap. That's like, all right, cool. I will probably vote for that person. Until I see that, all we have right now is like, I'm going to make the government go away, which isn't possible. And then you have the, I'm not going to make the government go away. I'm going to perpetuate the state. And I have a problem with that. Do you think you'll vote in small local elections? I'm going to be a lot more stringent than I used to be about small and local elections. It's like 2020. Who's running? Let's see who's running. I was thinking, so Patrick Smith from Disenthrall kind of, what's a good way of saying that? Motivated me, I guess, to see if I could, like, I was jokingly considering in 2022 to run a NAP compliant, not representative campaign, and for state representative, since he did not governor, and I'm not old enough to be the governor, I would do a not representative campaign, and I don't know. I think it could be fun. If nothing else, it would give me a way to get out there and talk about ideas to people who would have never been exposed to them before, but we'll see. I was going to type something in. What was I going to type? I was talking. Oh, small elections. Yeah, okay. I got to figure out what district I am. "14th District of Texas." Voting. 2020. Hold on. I know this is the riveting part of the show. Deadline to file is tomorrow, December 9th. Primary elections, March 3rd. Yeah, it's there's no libertarian candidate running. Actually, yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay, that's what I figured. So yeah. What? Hold on. The incumbent, the following list potential and declared candidates as unofficial will be updated after candidate filing deadline has passed. Okay. Never mind then. This is out of date. But we have Joshua Foxworth running against Randy Weber, I'm assuming, who's going to run again. I'm not positive. And then we have Adrienne Bell. Whoa, I dropped a bunch of frames. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was about. Bit rates going all over the place. Looks like it's back now, though. Okay, cool. Yeah. But like I was saying, I don't know any of these people. One of them's a Democrat, the other one's a Republican. They're trying to run against a guy who's been an incumbent for like the last freaking 12 congressional sessions or some stupid crap like that. So they're not going to win. But statistically speaking, they're not going to win. But we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to look at. Will I vote if a good libertarian runs? Sure. What was the guy? There was a guy. So last year it was Adrienne and Randy, and it was like Randy got like 59% of the vote. Adrienne, if that's how you even pronounce her name, got like 40, and I don't remember the guy's name. Don Conley, that was his name. Sorry, it just came up. Don Conley the third got, where is it? 1.4% of the vote, 3,000 votes. So I know nothing about this guy. I didn't vote for him. But yeah, I'm actually kind of curious if he's going to run again. Adam Kokesh is running too. Oh yeah, I already read that. Hey, Liberty Late Night. Yeah. Oh man. Oh jeez. Well, okay. So we've streamed for an hour and 42 minutes, and we have 1,600 total drop frames. We're streaming 60 frames a second. So if we do some math real quick, excuse me, one moment, please. Calculator. Let me just calculate this. 1680 divided by 60. 28 seconds of total, and that's dispersed, not total, like 28 straight seconds. But out of the, thousands and thousands of seconds we've been recording, 28 of those have gone down. We've transmitted 4.5 gigabytes of data at this point. I would say that this test is satisfactory. I hope you guys feel the same way. It is most satisfactory in my personal opinion. But this Don Conley's website won't come back up, so I don't think he's running. I think there's one more way to see. Let's see if there's any libertarians running in my area. I'm still a registered member of the Libertarian Party. I think I still am a registered member of the Libertarian Party. There should be candidates, whereas there should be like a list for candidates, right? I'm not going to spend too much time looking at this. I can't remember where it is. Do. The fact that it's this hard to find is an issue, though. I should be able to go to like the Libertarian website and have a full list of people who are registered to be on the ballot. But whatever. Not my problem, I guess. I like how one thing I will say, all right, as much as I talk crap about the Libertarian Party, they're in a much healthier place fiscally than the Green Party is. Because the Green Party has no money behind it. And say what you want about the Koch brothers and their influence on the Libertarian Party, they bring money to a goal which is more noble than what we have now in most aspects. So, if we are going to look at this from a pragmatic perspective, um, yeah, that's where we're at. But guys, we are about to hit the roughly 2 hours. I mean, like, I've basically been doing this for like 2.5 hours because I've been working on everything that's been going wrong. But I think this is a good time to wrap things up. I probably won't post any of this, honestly. Like, it'll be on YouTube, but I'm not going to make a podcast out of this. So next week we will have the full show. We'll be back and we'll have all sorts of great stuff going on. Saturday, the 14th, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be here. We'll have fun. It'll be great. It'll be swell. Hope you guys will enjoy it. And I have no idea what it's going to be about, so it should be fun. I might make a YouTube video between now and then. Just as like a news kind of update recap thing, or talking about a specific idea or something. But we'll see. And I'll have all the fun stuff set up, so like we can do whiteboards, and I can talk about things, and we can sit down and we can have a discussion and use visuals and whatnot. And the podcast people will be all mad, and I'll be like, well, watch the live stream then. And then there'll be more people in the live stream. So cool. Unless anybody's got anything else, I think that's going to be it. Don't forget to like the show, subscribe if you aren't already. I'm sure most of you are. Follow the podcast, rate it, email Liberty After Dark, contact at libertyafterdark.net. We have a Patreon. You can join it now that we're back. Hey, if we get enough people to join that, maybe I can just quit my day job and just do this like 4 times a week and make YouTube videos and be a content creator. Ooh, be an actual activist? What? But we'll see. Yeah, great show. Kevin, honestly, like, I mean, I feel like I didn't talk about anything. I mean, maybe I did. I don't know. It felt like I was just having a conversation. But yeah, cool. I mean, we talked about some things. I guess we did. I talked actually about all sorts of things, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Next week's episode will be a little more structured. We'll probably go back to being around an hour and a half. We'll be on time, and we'll be ready to make some great content and push forward and have a great Liberty After Dark and go to events and do fun stuff. And yeah, cool. Kokesh had a really great chat with Chris Cantwell recently. You should check it out and react to it. Can you send me a link to that, Shay, by any chance? Or post it in the chat or anything? Random BSing is cool. Yeah, that was all this was supposed to be, honestly. Like, the fact that this has gone for 2 hours on Wi-Fi at 60 frames per second and has had very, 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 very few issues, I consider that a win. And actually, you don't have to put it in the chat. I can just pull it up right here. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that, though. It's so bright. If every time I open up a link, it just hits me with the bright lights, we're gonna have to fix things. Kokesh. Kokesh. Maybe. Well, Kokesh is a bit too high profile for my kind of show, but he'd be a guy who I'd be interested in having a conversation with. It's on his YouTube channel. Destroys white nationalists on his own show. Okay. If you want me to do a reaction video to that, I can. What I'll probably do is my preferred style of reaction video is to take like bits and pieces of it, like of me watching it to get initial reactions, and then have like that just be like a few minutes of the actual video, and then come back and then just kind of like have an overview discussion about it, but less of like a, oh, he says a sentence and then me stop and be like, well, this is why this sentence is. I prefer to like kind of get through the content and then have a discussion about it, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think that's it, guys, though. So I've got some homework to do now. I got a video to watch, and I've got food to eat and beds to sleep on, and then movies to watch tomorrow. So it's going to be a fun time. Thanks again for coming out. If you guys enjoyed it, again, subscribe, comment, like, whatever. It was good having you guys out here. Super glad. 8 people, first day back. I'll take that. Nowhere to go but up, right? Nowhere to go but up. Eventually we'll be back to 2 shows a week, and we'll be hitting a groove, and it'll be sweet, and we'll get YouTube content coming out like nobody's business. And then before you know it, we'll be the pretty much the same place we were a month ago. I suggest having Rika, the hopeful voluntarist. Let me just. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep. After doing like, what was it, 5 interviews in a row, I think we're gonna try to keep interviews to at the most Saturday shows at the most, or discussions or whatever you want to call them, with more people. Yeah, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so it should be good. And guys, the next episode's 25, so that's pretty cool. We will have. That's crazy to think about. That since February, when we started publishing these, we got 25 episodes. And the first episode we ever recorded was it December or January? I can't remember. In the bowels of Liberty Memes Patreon members, there is a video from a year ago of me sitting with an iPhone with a ceiling fan behind me it was like an 8-hour live stream. Many beers were consumed. Many beers. But yeah. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. It was fun times. Thanks for coming out. It was great. I'm going to go ahead and shut the live stream off now. Otherwise, I'm never going to leave. Y'all take it easy.